Good evening, everybody. I know I'm a little late getting on here, but I've been sculpting all day, pretty much, for about at least 4 hours already. And I'm really honing in on this guy. These are the pictures I'm going off of. Still got a lot of work to do, but I'm honing in on those lips and the chin area really nice. That's coming into play really good. Still got a ways to go yet, though. Need my tripod so I can do this. Anyway, these are the pictures that I'm really going off of right now. Um, let's see what we can do here. Okay, I'm still there. Better. Okay. Now, I want to lower this. Give me a second here, guys. Let's see what we got here. All right. Really? All right. Let's see if I get anybody coming on. I'm going to keep the one picture up. I don't need the other picture up. So don't mind my bod because I've got to close. Okay, sorry about that. Did it again. With my channel. Anybody on? Hello, hello, hello. You know what? Let me post the link. need to raise this up a little bit. It's still too low. There we go. A little tilt to this side. Okay, I'm live. This is not Memorex. You're not old enough to understand that joke?
Hey,
Hey.
you still scalping?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I've been honing in on the,
Leaps?
well, I have an actual trace out of the profile.
Right.
All right. This is the profile of the screen used mask.
Ah, damn, that's right on the money. You live?
Yeah.
Hi, YouTube.
It's off by a little bit on the lips. It's such a small amount. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yep.
All right, so I got the profile correct. That's the main thing. You have to make sure that profile is on the money, because without the profile, you'll have the whole thing. It'll be all wrong. It's hard to.
Looking good, man.
But we're getting closer and closer.
Persistence pays off.
Yes, it does. But there ain't nobody on live. There ain't nobody on here. If there's anybody on, say hello, because otherwise I won't know you're there. All right. I spent a lot of time sculpting the last, I'm going to say, several hours. And I think the sculpting part of it, I need to be fully concentrating on it. Sculpting, that's why you don't see a lot of people sculpt live. You know, the few people that can are really good at what they do. I'm not as good, that's for sure. The problem I have is I just don't have a lot of experience with clay at all. There we go. Takeoff vision. How we doing, buddy? So we're really getting close. We're getting closer. I did something to help me a lot with this particular sculpture. There was a perfect profile picture. Takeoff vision. And what I did is I cut it out. This is a profile picture right here. And this profile picture goes right on the nose, right over here, right like that. Now, I'll show you how close I am to the actual profile. I don't know if you can, hold on. This is brutal. I just don't have enough space. I need workspace. I can't take this anymore. This is driving me crazy. I've been fighting with this for eons, but I have too much stuff in here. Okay, well, this is the best I can do. The profile is right on the money. This is an actual screenshot of the mask. It's a profile. All right, that fits perfect. Over the, I have the, well, this is just a little warped. But I think I have the nose out just a little too far on the tip. Yeah, that's all it is. I'm just going to take a little bit of the tip off. But I had the profile perfect on the sculpture. And from there, it just became a lot easier to really figure out the angles and everything, because without the profile being perfect, I couldn't hone in on it. I couldn't get this. I was like, what the hell is wrong with this thing constantly over and over and over again? The profile is wrong. But I've been working on the eye cuts. The eye cuts are really, really on the money now. They're really, I got this even tucked in right here. I had it come out further with this eye here. This eye thing right here. I had to cut it, come out further. So I still got a little bit of work here to make that nice. But even here, this a little more flatter at the top. And then this goes over. This is really coming in. I've been working hard on these lips. I got the lips really close. I'm still working on the bottom part a little bit. Yeah, you have to really hone in on it. I think the chin's just a little too large. I have to take some more of that off. Yep. I had to get the angles right. The angles were really everything. They were brutal. But I've been at this now for like probably like 4 hours today. I had to bulge out the top of the head more to get this profile. Everything is right now. Everything is in proportion to the actual screenshot. Here you go. Let me read you. Yeah, the nose is still not quite there. I still have a couple things to do to the nose. It's got to be a little rounder right in here. But the profile is right on the money. Let me see, there's just a little bit of dents here. I'm trying to just smooth it out. I'm starting the smoothing process soon. The key is getting everything shaped perfect. You know, you have to get the shape right before you can start smoothing anything out. You got to get all your everything has to be shaped just right. Take off vision. Let's see what you're saying here. The nose looks perfect. Yep. Damn, looks great now. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. We're definitely going in the right direction now. What's up, Asylum? I'm back. I was going to go on earlier, but you know what? I started to think I think the sculpting process, because I've only been doing it for 3 years. I've been an artist my whole life, but I worked with wood, and I always worked in like two-dimensional. All right, see, relief carving is like a flat board of wood, and then you're doing relief carving, but you're not dealing like three-dimensional. You're doing some three-dimensional. Pipe Master, what's happening, buddy? They're not way off, and I'll show you why. I can prove this. And it's the problem, I just showed it. This, I took one of the profile pictures of the actual screen used mask. All right. This piece of plastic is the absolute profile of the screen used mask. Remember that side shot? That perfect side shot? Look how close this is. I have the actual side shot. There it is. I have it damn near right on the money. Right on the money. I had to zoom the picture. I'm sorry. There's a couple lumps that actually are in the way that still have to be shaved off to make it look right. But the picture, I had to zoom it to make it the exact same size as my as my sculpture to get this profile perfectly identical to the same size as my sculpture. And I did that through Adobe Edition. So that profile picture gave away the exact look of what the lips are supposed to be. And I have the angles perfect on both sides. There's actually a side view of the angles. The lips are, believe it or not, they're kind of flat right across here, and they bulge all the way out to about here, and then they tuck in. And that's why that's the way it is. I mean, now I'm not quite done these lips. I think they might be a little too high. Yet they might be a little too high in this area. I have to bring them down just a little bit. The lower lip is almost on the money. Almost. I have to fix this area right over here. I've been sculpting on this all day, and until I did that profile, I was not able to get close to what the actual screen used mask is. You gotta remember, I'm not trying to make another night creeper, because the night creeper is totally opposite of this. This is, I mean, not opposite, but it's not quite, it's really nowhere near the same sculpture. The eye cuts are completely changed. I actually blew up the picture and overlaid, I don't have it now. Yeah, I do. I just traced it out on, come on, get off of there. I just traced it out on here, and I can actually line everything up, and that's what I did. I didn't use this. This was original. I was just testing this to see if that would work, but what I had to do was literally cut the eye itself out, each piece, because you can't hold it up like this as a flat. It has to be on the sculpture. So what I did was I took the most important parts, the lips, the the eye cuts, and literally took the plastic and put it on there and made the eye cuts exactly how the screen used mask is. All right. I'll show you the picture I'm using. This way you can't deny what I'm doing here. Hold on. I'm just looking at it straight at the camera. You know what? This camera's not high enough. That's what the problem is. You're looking at this thing upward. Hold on. Let me get this camera even with the picture, even with the no, not quite. All right, now I need to put it. There you go. We're getting there with the lips. The lips still a little bit too much of a bulge on this side, which I'm going to bring that down some more. The lips are getting close. You know, it's not too high. Believe it or not, I'll show you the picture that I'm using. Right there. And I actually did some work to it so I can see the lips. I can see my lips are just a touch, just a hair too high. I mean, the tops of the lips, they're a little too high. But as you can see, they're almost on the money. But I can see right now, I can already see this problem here. With the lips. Because I just started using this picture. I was using a profile picture, trying to get the profile right. And now I'm back to this. So what I'm doing is I'm going to turn this away from me first. like I said, Pipe Master, I'm having a hell of a time with this because I don't have the actual sculpture or anything even close uh, to that mask here. Like I have the other masks, the originals, like the 18. I have a copy of the 18. I have a Kills, and I also have a Ends mask. You know, and honestly, I think he used those sculptures. Now, I had to bump out this head right. I had to get the profile perfect from here, right down the center. That profile has to be on the money for this to work. You cannot get it to look good if it's not the profile is not right. And if you watch Nick Mulpagano, he actually that's the first thing he did was make sure that the profile was correct um, with doing doing the sculptures. You have to get that profile right. And I've been talking to him too, you know, and I've asked him. I said, you know, I struggle with certain things. I really do. And look, I'm no expert at this, man. These guys have been doing this for 30 years, 25 years. I've been doing it, what, 3 years? That's a blip on the scale of knowledge right there. That's barely, you know, I have the ability, I have the eye, but I struggle with technique. That is where I really have problems. Um, okay, so there's a lot being said here. Let me jump in on this. Takeoff vision, takeoff vision. So I read that already. He's back. Pipe Master. Oh no, the lips are way off again. I've got my Halloween Ends mask for the first time yesterday. Cool. Uh, yeah, the chin's too wide this way. I got to hone this in a little bit more, but I got to be careful how I do it because I don't want to lose that angle. So it's just a little bit. I got to take a little bit and shrink this down just a little bit, probably like from about to here. All right, and that'll bring it in real nice. But I got to blend that real nice. I got to be careful how I do it. And like I said, what I struggle with is technique. Okay, yeah, the lips are too big. Yeah, takeoff vision. I think they're just a little too high. That's and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring them down a little bit. That's exactly what I'm going to do, and that's nothing. Yeah, that's definitely too high on this side. The bringing it down a little bit more. Um, but I will say that I do know for a fact that this area here, from here to here across this front, is kind of flat all the way across. If you look at the original mask on the shot where it's on the table and you're looking down on the face, you can see that these lips don't start tucking in on the originals. I'm not talking about anybody's mask. I'm talking about the screen used mask. These lips from here to here is where they start tucking into the face. And that was the struggle that I was having. I couldn't get that right look. And I'm like, how do I approach this? Well, the first thing I had to do was tackle the profile. I had to get the profile right. bump this area out, and make sure the nose is the right size, make sure the profile, the lips are on the money. Um, yeah, it's work. You know, you're just constantly working at it. You're working at it, working at it, working at it. Um, you know, believe it or not, the I move this clay just a little fraction, and it changes the look of the the actual sculpture. You know, I still got a lot of smoothing out to do, but you know what? Let's work on trying to get this chin a little bit more narrow. Where'd my tool go? Here it is. I know how I'm going to approach this. I'm going to bring this chin in where it needs to be. Yeah, this looks a little too flat right in here. I'm going to read all your comments in a second here. Hold on. Because I want to read every one of them. I didn't read them all yet. That's what I have learned. I think I can't. One of the biggest problems I have is when I'm doing sculpting live, I can't concentrate enough, and I have too many opinions going at me at the same time. I walked away and reapproached it, and was able to figure out a few things, especially once I got the profile right. I said, that profile's got to be right. And it's funny, I didn't actually ask Nick that time. I was watching one of his videos. I have his video collection. And I was watching Nick. And in one of his videos, he actually says, you have to get that profile perfect before you actually get anywhere else. You start anywhere else. Once the profile is captured, you will have a better shot at making a very accurate look, because everything else falls in line. The angles fall in line, everything falls in line if the profile is on the money, right down the center. You have to get that first. Yeah, that's coming in a little better now. You guys can see, I don't know if you can see that, but from that angle, I'll show it to you when I get, but it's work. All right, now I'm going to read your comments. I'll take a time out and I'm going to read these comments. Guys, try to put it in capitals, caps. Put your caps lock on. Yeah, those are too big. Asylum Beyond the Dead. It's perfect, guys. That's exactly when I was thinking. I'm that. Wait, would you say Pipe Master? I'm trying to. Yes. Well, I mean, that's what I said. I think that this is not peaking enough. See, that's the problem. I have to. There we go. I have to get that a little bit more of a peak. And I got to fix in here. Because now that lip got bent over a little bit. You gotta remember, I haven't done any smoothing out yet. I'm not doing that until I get this thing really, really close. No smoothing out. I have to smooth it out once in a while just to see, how how it's coming along. Um, like these lips are still like really rough. They're not. You know, they're not smoothed out yet. So when you see all this imperfections, you're not really seeing the actual um, uh, finished product. See how this is like right here? I like the way that looks because it brings the chin into the face more natural. All right, I just have to get that rough edge off the. I need this to be not as steep on this side too. Although this lip is a little different than this side, but not much. You can't believe how small of a difference it is when you're sculpting. A lot of smoothing out. Believe it or not, I like to smooth out a lot of my clay with this tool right here. Okay, read some more. Okay, Pipe Master, I can. Yes, you can see it because I enhanced that picture so I can really see the fine details and the shading. Uh, Let me see. I don't know what that Pipe Master you put in. I don't know what that meant. I think it says in. You guys put your caps lock on, please, so I can read your comments. I'm at a distance at the screen. I can see your comments better if you're all in caps. Yes, I'm still working on this. It's going to be a little bit. I still have to really, I want to get it perfect. I keep looking at the picture and I see little things. Thank you for the asylum putting the caps on. Ha! Uh, Asylum, I got to tell you, I've made the masks. I haven't sold any, and it's because I'm a perfectionist and I just want to make sure that it is perfect. I've only been doing the mask making for 3 years, Asylum, and my first mask was Michael Myers, and my first mask was horrible, so not even close. I have the mask. I don't have the mold anymore because I don't really give a shit about it. Um, I don't want to put anything out there that I don't like, and I don't care if it's my first. And I've heard people say that, oh, well, you should hang on to your first mask because that could become valuable. Well, it's never going to become valuable to me unless I'm dead. Um, I could care less about I'm more about trying to worry about getting the mask the way I want it to look. I don't care if I have to spend a year, 2 years, 3 years perfecting this. Uh, I had to learn human anatomy. There were so many things that I was getting wrong because, I can feel my face all day long and that's not going to give me the actual, how does Michael's face, feel? What does that look like? Because I do use my sense of feel a lot when I'm sculpting. Um, it's almost like you feel the shapes. It's kind of hard to explain. Uh, but it's a process, man. It really is. All right, so that's higher, and this is sticking out a little bit too much there. And this has to come down steeper. So when I lower the lip line, I have to make sure that this is right too, right in the center. Okay, that's a lot better looking. I think this this V shape needs to come out just a little bit further over though, like this. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah, that needed to be wider. When I started messing with this, dropping that peak down, I closed that in on by accident by putting too much force onto the clay. You gotta remember, I'm working with hard monster clay. And the more I rub it, the softer it gets because my body heat warms the clay up. Pipe Master, what do you think? Is that a little better now? Asylum, I can see Michael's blinded eye in the picture. I know, I showed you guys that. Takeoff Vision, DJ, you still have the pics he sent you. Yes, I have, and actually that's one of the pictures that I enhanced. I gave it a better enhancement. I did it through my iPhone. I was able to enhance the pictures a little more. Um, and what I did was I wanted to see more of the shadows. The shadows are your secret. That's what reveals, you know, your shapes. And it's hard to do. Like if somebody takes a picture of a mask and it's in bright white light, and you can't see any of the shadows, you can't see the shapes, you can't see any of that. So, you know, it's important to get really. The other thing too is getting angled shots. You have to have every angle, looking up, looking down, looking on an angle, on side to side, looking up this way from the side, looking straight across at the profile. You have to see this thing in every possible dimension you can take a picture of it in to really get the perfect uh, mask, the sculpture, to get the sculpture accurate. Um, when you're copying somebody else's work, which this is Christopher Nelson's work, um, you know, I'm copying what he did. And it's not easy. There's things that, like, people that overlook a lot of things, like having the eye scowl right here, the eye cut, that's supposed to be overhanging over top of this eyelid. That does not, that is not even. Like this bottom eye cut is not even with the upper eye cut. That's, I mean, straight across this way. If you see this from a profile, you'll see that it's out past the bottom eye cut. It's out past it. Jesus, dropping tools. But the eye cut is out past this. This is actually coming out probably about dead even to here on the cheek. All right, that's how much further out this top eye cut is. And what I'm also doing that people don't realize is I'm working from here back. Ears don't matter. Even the shape of the head isn't going to be perfect yet. I have to make sure that the jawline, everything goes from the center of the space right here, and I work my way back. It's important to get the eye cuts right first because, well, with the profile, the eye cuts have to be right too. Because if you don't get the eye cuts right, the rest of it won't fall into line. And what I mean is you got to have these bump outs right here, right. This one here bumps out and then it tucks in. I had to add clay right in this area here and make it bump out further on this side to make that eye cut do what the mask, the actual screen used mask does. You out of here, Sue?
Yeah, I'll see you later.
All right, I'll give you a call a little later. Bye bye. So, there's a lot of things that I have to do now. The scales, you're beginning to see the shape of the scale, but I have to cut in. I have to shave in right in here, and I also have like I got to keep this profile right here. The same distance right here has to stay the same, right in the center, right in the center. Everything else gets shaped into what we're trying to do here. And that's make a really, really, really nice flashback mask. So, still not happy with this side here on this mouth, but it looks like it's right. You know what it is? I can't see this. The lighting is not allowing me to see this lip here. It makes it look like it's caving back, but it's not. It's actually bulging out right there, like the actual sculpt, the actual screen used mask. It's bulging out. It just doesn't look like it. Yeah, it's not. This is definitely not an easy thing to do, and I'm still looking at this. I don't like the way this is still. Oh, let me try and get this fixed here. Getting closer. What do you guys think of this chin so far? Now, a lot of roughness over here yet. I still got to smooth that out, but that's. Is the chin not wide like it was now? Does it look better? Yeah, once that profile revealed, that kind of solved a lot of my problem. Because sometimes you have to stop doing what you're doing and really look at the pictures and remember like somebody's lesson, like making sure the profile was right from Nick Mulpagano. Thank you very much, Nick. Um, I'm so thankful that I actually bought all your videos, which I did, because I think that when somebody's been doing this kind of thing for 30, even if you don't like his work, you have to respect it. You have to respect it. I like his work. Some people don't. But I'm not here to dictate whether you like it or you don't. We're all different. We all like different things. I do like his work, and I've seen the flaws too. But damn, you don't think I have? Man, I got a whole bunch of flaws. Every time I do this, I go, oh my God, what am I not seeing? And it's guys like that you really want to learn from, because they've been doing it for so long. So, hats off to Nick Mulpagano at Handy Boy Studios for really revealing a lot. He's actually one of the first ones to do YouTube, showing people how to make his mask. Now he sold his videos, yes. And if you really, really are serious about doing mask making, then yeah, it would be wise for you to buy his material. But if you're just watching his videos, you're not really interested in making a mask, then is what it is. But I bought every one of his videos so far. I think there might be a couple more that are out there that I'm not aware of. But needless to say, I have learned a lot, through him, and I also learned a lot about my own mistakes by making mistakes. So that's important. After you're done, are you going to start sculpting the tongue that goes through this? Oh man, Asylum! I'm telling you. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I could put a slit in there, and you could stick your tongue out in your mask. How do you think? What do you think of that? You know, that'll work. You know, you kind of stick your tongue through your mask. If you don't want to destroy your mask, I wouldn't recommend doing that. But I don't really put. I'm not. I don't plan on having a slit in the mask. I know that the original has it and everything, but I don't. I think that if you, open up that mouth, it gets rid of it. It takes away the integrity of the mask at some point as it ages. You know, you'll start having things open up. You're going to have that with the eye cuts no matter what. But the less holes that you put in your mask, the better off you are. Because those holes with latex, they naturally just start to open. As they get older, it opens up, and rots out. The latex rots out. You can keep a mask for a long time, but at some point, and it's usually about 30 years, it really starts to break down. Now, me, I'll be lucky if I'm alive 20 more years. So, my thing to everybody out there is if you plan on getting this mask from me, and some of you got some free masks coming your way because of all the help you've been given. The key is make sure you get one, because I don't know how long I'll be producing these. I don't know. I know that I will. Like I say it to Pipe Master all the time. I definitely don't want to put out something there that's not even close. It has to be very close to the screen used mask. I mean, that's my goal, and that goes for my Night Creeper. That's a combination mask, so it's kind of its own thing. All right, that is a combination of the lips are from the flashback, but you have to remember the flashback has its own shape, so the lips aren't exactly like this. They do look good, but I'm not trying to make the lips that are on there to fit this, because the flashback has a different jawline, has a different shape to the mouth. It's just different. And anyway, my Night Creeper is the flashback mask, Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 combined. All right, all three of those masks, and a touch with the eyebrows, a touch of the poster art of Halloween 4 and 5, the poster art that was for that movie, Halloween 4 and 5. They used the same screenshot for the poster for Halloween, and it pissed off anybody. Well, it pissed me off, but I didn't like the mask at all that they used in Halloween 4 and 5. They were both atrocious. Just my opinion. But then I was so ready to see Michael Myers back on the big screen as the Shatner mask, and that was what was so disappointing. Now, people that are younger that happen to see Halloween 4 and 5 as their very first Michael Myers movie, I get it. That's you like it because that's what you saw originally. This is what I saw. The Shatner mask is what really does it for me. Shatner all the way. Damn hiccups. So, but I've been at this all day, and right now I'm just going to do a little smoothing out if I can. What I do with my thing. Oh yeah, of course, it's the one tool that I use the most that falls on the floor. Thank God for grabbers. So I got my grabber right next to me here. I'm going to smooth out the forehead a little bit. Actually, I can't yet because I have to add a little bit more. This has to be a little more flat going across here. It's a little too rounded right in here. So let's see. The Silent Pipe Master. What's your favorite kill from Halloween 2? Pipe Master. Night Creeper is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see a mask painted. Painted up. Yes. Mask. I can't wait. That the Night Creeper is going to be a badass mask. It really is. If you guys aren't getting one already, that's that for helping me. That's free. You're going to want to buy that mask because I don't know how long I'll have it in production. That mask is going to be awesome. I mean, I really do, and I don't really blow my own horn because I'm so new to this business. But the way that thing turned out, man, I'll just gonna show it to you right now. All right, now I have a little bit of work to do. I still didn't fix it yet, but I'll get to it. All right, hold on. I gotta back up. Because you can't get the. I just have to fix that little bit of damage right there. Now the reason why it looks like it's leaning backwards is because the neckline is cut on a slant. All right, so when I go to that is a really good mask. That's going to be a really good mask. Now see the damage is up in here just a little bit. I just have to smooth it out. That's all. It's not a big deal. There was a dent put in there. But this is going to be a really awesome mask. Yeah, this is, and even these lips look good too. You know what? They're exactly the same size. Now that I'm looking at my sculpture, the flashback over here, they're exactly the same size now. Yes, so that does look better. And I do have to fix this one edge on it. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the Night Creeper? This is the Night Creeper that you're looking at right now. And the eye cuts. Let me see if I can give you a better angle. Oh, man, this thing. That's not working. There you go. So now you're looking directly at it. You don't want to look at it from an angle because it's kind of hard to get the real look of what the mask looks like. So now you're looking at it with the right angle, looking straight at the mask as though it was on your head and you're looking at somebody. And there's the back of it. It says Night Creeper, Custom Corpses Night Creeper 78. It's actually embedded into the mask. Yeah, the paint job in itself on the flashback, or it's Night Creeper is better. What's that? Well, I mean, Asylum. Now, there's people out there that really love the flashback mask. Now, I love the flashback mask as well, but I still tend to like the original 78 better than any of the masks. But you got to remember, Christopher Nelson is an amazing artist, and when he captured that true look, he really did for that screen. For the movie, he was actually able to really capture that well. So I mean, it's tough. This is so much harder than people realize to actually make these masks, especially when you're doing a copy of something that you don't have a three-dimensional copy in front of you. If I took the 2018 mask and I put it right in front of me, I could probably copy it to a T. I could copy every little detail and sculpt it really nice. But I really don't want to do the TOTS masks. I don't want to do them. I mean, because that's, we're doing the flashback, and the only reason I'm doing the flashback is because you can't buy the flashback. You know, the only way you're getting a flashback is through a private artist. You're not getting that. And the Night Creeper, the 78 mask, Tots does make a 78, but we've been making the 78 for a long time without anybody buying the copyrights and everything. So 78 for me was not just about selling a mask. It was a challenge for me. It was something that I wanted to do because I've always wanted to sculpt it. I've always wanted to sculpt this mask, the original 78. And my 78, and because it's so hard to do this, I don't want to spend too many more years doing just Michael Myers masks. My plan is I'm going to do two different things. I have the master copy in silicone that I can make clay copies of my Night Creeper. I'm going to age that into I'm going to make it look like the 81. I thought I was going to make a copy of the 81, and the more I think about it, the more I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do the 81. There's actually there's a lot of good 81s out there. Dick Warlock, that mask comes to mind. As a matter of fact, one of the guys that follows me here has one for sale, you guys. He has a Warlock mask for $400. London Moore is who comes on here all the time. He has one, and it's a real thick pull. Shit, it's on my camera. I didn't upload it. Damn it. I didn't upload the pictures yet on my, well, maybe I can while I'm on live. No, I don't think I can. No, because I can't access the camera. If I go to the camera, this video will end. But he sent a bunch of pictures of it to me. And it's a real thick one. And I used to have one of those. I'm half tempted to buy it myself, but I'm just, you know what? I've been kind of like hiatus with work right now because of my heart condition and everything that I'm healing from. So I have to really be careful on how much work that I do. So I got to be careful. So money's tight, and I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money. But he asked me to tell everybody on here, on my channel, that he has a Warlock mask that he's selling for $400. And it's a very thick pull, and the artwork on it it's aged to look really like the Halloween 2 mask. The original 81 Halloween 2 mask, and it looks good. And I'm telling you, the pull on that is literally, I'm going to say, an 1/8 inch thick. That's how thick it looked when he showed me the edge of the neck. I got a picture of the edge of the neck. It's about an eighth inch pull. Now, I've never seen a Warlock mask that thick. And $400, price, that's all he paid for it. That Warlock's worth money. You got to look up London Moore on yeah, wait a minute. The Warlock is great. But to me, the H25M from Death Row mask is the best H2. I don't know. I've never seen. I've probably seen the Death Row mask, but I don't know which one it really is. The Warlock, Cemetery Gate, and Dick Warlock actually got involved with making that mask, and I don't think that mask is in production anymore. I should follow everything like this. I should be like one of these guys that know everything about Michael Myers. I know a lot about the movies. I don't know a lot. I don't know too much about. I know a lot about Halloween 1, Halloween 2. I know a lot about the masks, that sort of thing. And I actually have a lot of the original first releases of some of the interviews of how they did this and how they did that. And it's funny, Tommy Lee Wallace was talking about how they painted the original mask. And in the first interview, in the second interview, he claimed it was only appliance white paint. in the first interview that I have on video, says that it was actually a fish belly white. And the reason why they used the fish belly white is because it gave it such a weird glow. It gave it a really cool look, and it worked great on film. And I'm sticking to the fish belly white. Even with this mask, I'm going to use a little fish belly white with the flashback mask. Meaning, they'll be even all my masks are going to be fish belly with touches of yellow in it and stuff to make sure that it looks like the flashback. If Pipe Master's still on there, I still have that picture of that one paint job that they did that we were talking about, and I sent you that link to try and purchase that, and that was the guy that basically screwed you over. You know what I'm talking about without getting into detail. Pipe Master was going to buy this mask, and this guy, he had the money, but ready to pay for it. This guy all of a sudden decides, no, I'm going to sell it. To, you know, he wanted to up the money, is what he did. He wanted to up his money, and that wasn't cool because it was on eBay. It wasn't cool at all. I mean, phew, you know, I just don't appreciate people like that. That's besides the point. But needless to say, there was a mask that we were looking at together. I actually saw it, and then I sent him a picture of it right away. He said, "Yo, man, you need to look at this," because the paint job was incredible on this mask. I thought, my God, man, that'd be that. If I was going to buy a flashback mask, that would be the one I wanted, because I would have wanted it just to use that paint scheme. That paint job on that mask was incredible. I don't know if it was overhauled. I don't know. Somebody did it. It looked amazing. And they did it in broad daylight. You can see the mask in daylight, outside natural daylight. So you actually could see the colors. So it was really good. I was like, wow. And I think that guy probably got a lot of hits on that mask and didn't realize that it was going to be that easy to sell. And I think that's what he did. He upped the money on it. He upped the money. That's what he did. That's besides the point. Okay, I'm wheeling myself back over to where I was. I want to read some of... Yeah, Pipe Master, you ain't shitting. That was a big screw over. I really pissed me off because I know the second you saw that you would have seen that mask, you would have bought that thing in a heartbeat. Because I just, the paint job on that was just sick. It was sick. Thank God I kept a picture of it. I can follow that paint scheme. That's what I'm going to do with this flashback when I perfect it. And I can't wait for you to come down and just stop over on a Sunday when you're down here, Pipe Master, and come take a look at the sculpture here. You've actually had a flashback mask. All right, so I just need to know, am I getting warmer if you actually, because remember how you came the last time, you were like, oh, I didn't realize the mask looked that good in person. But I think that could be said just the opposite way too. It could look really good on film, and yet it's not really that good in person, and vice versa. It looks awful on film, but yet when you came and saw it, it was like, wow, it looks great, you know. So I think that goes both ways. That's just not one way there. But I can't wait for you to come here, because I don't want to see you go out there and buy a mask, Pipe Master, just to help me out with this. Don't do that. If you're interested in getting a flashback, and I think the best mask out there that's a flashback is NAG. Hands down, NAG is the best one out there. I've seen a couple of the other people, without mentioning names, because I don't want to bash anybody or make anybody think that I don't like their work. That's not true. But there's a couple other flashbacks out there that I just think that they're not quite that accurate. And I don't want to be that guy. I want to try and put together, and I really want to go, not even with the NAG one, I really want my mask to look like the screen used. And as far as I know, the NAG looks very close to that screen used mask. I haven't seen anything better than that. I think that there's a little bit of a difference in the way the eye cuts are. Not eye cuts, the shape of the head shape is that's really I think that's the problem. And you just got to keep piling on the clay. That's what I'm doing here. I'm blocking your view, of course. You just keep piling on the clay and smooth it as you're doing it, because you don't want to spend a lot of raking time on your sculpture. Okay. Let's see. Pipe master. Let me see. All right, hold on. Great mask. Yeah, cemetery gate. CGP. And that stands for Cemetery Gate Productions. Wow, takeoff vision. Is it the Warlock is still in production? Because maybe I'll order one. Maybe I'll order one from Cemetery Gate, and I want a thick pull. I want one that's thick, you know. And I honestly, I don't want them to paint it. I'll paint it myself. You know, maybe I'll even hair it myself. Maybe I can order a cut. You're never going to get somebody to send you a blank. I've had people try to do this, and I'm going to clear this up for you so you understand why, as an artist, I would never do this. Somebody asked me, can you send me a blank pull? All right, but don't cut the eyes out. Don't cut anything out. Leave everything right there. No, I'm not going to do that. One, you can foam fill it, and then make master copies of it and make your own. You can make copies that way, and that's something you don't do. I cut the eye holes out, the nose holes, the ear holes. I don't put the slit in the lips, unless somebody asked for that. Then I'll slit the lips. But I cut those out because you can't really foam fill it when the eye cuts are all cut out in the nose, or it's just a mess. It'll ruin the mask. You can't really do it. And it's to protect your own work. People out there want to copy stuff. Like, I would never in a million years copy somebody's work outside of sculpting and looking at somebody's mask or something and but I'm not trying to copy that exact mask. I will never do that. I always want a little twist in there that's something that only is available on my mask. It's like the Night Creeper. That's a combination mask of 3 masks, pretty much. Actually 4 masks. It's actually poster art. There's poster art, and then there's the 3 masks that it's a combination of. And that's the Lips of the Flashback, which I was impressed with, and the Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 combo. CGP always do thick pulls. No, that's not true. Takeoff Vision. I got one of the Warlocks a long time ago when they first came out with that mask. I literally bought one. It cost me like $350, $400 new. All right, and I had to wait a long time because there was so many people buying that mask because it was like brand new. I'm talking the early 2000s when they first came out with that mask. And Dick Warlock was, certifying that, and they sent a certified document with it, with Dick Warlock's signature on it, and they sent that to you. And what happened was they sent me the mask. I was never happy with that mask. Oh my God, I was so pissed off with that mask. The paint work wasn't right. The paint job on it was horrible, and it was a really thin pull. And I specifically asked for a very thick pull on my mask from Cemetery Gate. So I don't know what happened. It was back in the day when it was first came out, and it was just, they were an assembly line. I'm sure that they were trying to get this thing out as fast as possible to everybody, and it was taking a long time because it was new product, and everybody was on fire. Everybody was buying this mask that could afford it. So was I upset? Yeah, I was. And I actually sent the mask back to Cemetery Gate. And I said, the mask wasn't painted right. It didn't look right. It was just plain white. I wanted the aged look. I wanted to look like the Halloween 2 mask. And it wasn't painted right. So I'm thinking I just started thinking, well, maybe they just sent me the wrong mask. They grabbed the wrong mask and put it in the box, sent it all to me with the certificate. That's not the worst part. The worst part is I send the mask back, and like an idiot, I didn't keep the certificate. I sent the certificate back with the mask because I thought if I'm going to get another mask, it's going to be numbered, and I want the certificate to match the number. Well, the mask came back. It still wasn't that great, and they didn't send me the certificate the second time. There was no certificate. I was pissed. I was pissed, man, beyond belief, and I never did business with them again. Um, if I could find a thick pull, I would purchase from somebody else that has a thick pull, but I wouldn't buy it directly from them unless they've changed their ways, because that was a bad experience I had with them, and I spent 300, 350, 400, whatever the hell the mask was at that point, and back then that was a lot of money to me. So, um, yeah, not fun. So, and I'm not trying to bash Cemetery Gate, and I am, because that's my experience. That's what I had with them. So I guess I'm just telling you what happened to me. Now, has that happened to other people? I don't know. Have they changed their ways they do business with people? Maybe. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant buying a mask directly from uh, Cemetery Gate just because of that experience. And I'm not lying about it. That's how it happened. So it's a shame, because I want to do, when I sell my mask, when I finally start making these masks and sell these masks, I want to give you guys something with it, like uh, maybe I'll get T-shirts made up or something. I'll get T-shirts when somebody purchases a mask. They'll have a T-shirt with it. Uh, Custom Corpses T-shirts. I don't know. I have to figure out what I want to do. I don't want to do just a card like everybody does. Um, I think a T-shirt's better, because not only does that, it also advertises you. Somebody's on YouTube or something and are wearing my shirt. That's advertisement, man. You know, but you'll get something more than just the mask. You gotta get a little something more. I just feel like, selling the mask and just send it in a box, wrapped perfectly, the whole 9 yards, and you got no little knickknacks or something, because some people like to want to open up a box and then find surprises. It's just nice to find and that's what I want to do too. I don't want it to be the exact same thing. You might get a T-shirt, you might get something else, you might get a coffee mug, you might get something, something different. You never know what you're going to get depending on your order. Oh, I don't. Asylum. I've never heard Nick say that he didn't like the flashback mask, but maybe you have heard him say that. I've never heard Nick Mopagano say that he didn't like the flashback mask, um, which makes sense. If he doesn't like it, that kind of explains why he doesn't make one. Um, I'm making one from scratch, trying to go off of the actual screen used pictures, and it's difficult. Thank God I actually have the generalized shape of everything. I just had to keep adding to it, make it right. I had to keep going. I had to make sure with my sculpture, the original Night Creeper was here. And the Night Creeper is not this. And there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of changes. So I had to make sure that I meet those changes. I have to make sure that those changes are in the sculpture. I had to make the changes. The changes had to be done. I was trying to I was trying to sculpt this thing without making any massive changes, and I realized there's no way I can do it because the shape of the head's different. The flashback mask is more square, especially the top of the head. My Night Creeper, his head is a little bit more pointed, not by a lot, but just enough. There's a little bit more of an egg shape to the face, the Night Creeper, And that's how the original mask was. It was more egg-shaped, not as squared off. Now the flashback, there is a huge difference. But he did capture that very unique look of the original mask. Maybe it was movie magic. I don't know. I just know that it looks really good on film. And he actually says that in his interview. He was not making the mask look good for a collector. That mask was made to look good on film. And that's how he approached that mask. It had to make sure he had the features in it. As much as you think they're real subtle, the features had to be in that mask pretty good because he needed the shadows. Oh, well, maybe take off vision. I hope it's thick because I ordered thick, and they kept sending me these thin pulls, and I couldn't stand. I don't like a thin mask. I like a mask that holds its shape, and I don't want to have to stuff it on my shelf. I don't want it so thin that you got to have something. You don't want to be so. You don't want it to be maximum thickness because then the mask is literally it weighs a ton on you. It can also it shrinks up more. The thicker a mask is, the more it will shrink, and it can actually not really fit you too well if it shrinks up too much. This is going to be a large mask. I'm thinking. Well, the reason I'm actually kind of excited for this because I've made this sculpture even bigger than my Night Creeper, and why I say I'm excited for it is because the Night Creeper is it's a large pull, but I'm going to get two versions out of that. I'll get a small, or I'll get two sizes. I'll get a small and I'll get a medium. No, a small and a large. That's it. There'll be two sizes, and the small is going to be right around 24 inches. I'm hoping that it makes the 24-inch mark for the small one. It might even be a little under that. But this one here, the small is going to be 24 and a half inches, I'm guessing. 24 and a half inches. And the large will be probably 25, 25.5 or something like that. That's what that's going to be. It'll be a large mask. If you have a small head, you don't want the large mask. It's different if you have a big prop that you're going to put it on. You don't plan on wearing the mask. And you, like, say you got a Frankenstein that you want to make into a Michael Myers, and he's really tall and big, then you might want to get the big mask. The CGP's having the thickest pulls I know. I had a CGP St. Nick it was a very thick pull too. Maybe they've changed. I think Cemetery Gate was bought out by somebody. Am I wrong? I remember Cemetery Gate stopping production at one point, and then I think somebody else bought them, and whoever is doing it now, they're doing it right, possibly. So now I'll take the chance. Maybe I'll order. I'll go back. I didn't appreciate the first time I dealt with them, and that was in 2000. I'm going to say 2001, 2002, maybe 3. Might have been 2003 when I first bought the Warlock, and Terry Lambert. Yeah, I remember that name, Terry. I do remember Terry. It's been a long time. But I'll reach out to Terry. I'm trying not to bash anybody on here. I'm just sharing with you my experience, and maybe they make it right. Maybe they do it right now, because I don't like a thin mask. If that happens to me again, man. I don't even want to go there. And was what it was, So I think the reason why, more than any other reason, It happened to me. It might have happened to other people. I don't know. I didn't back then. The media, social media wasn't nearly as big as it is now. Not even close. So you really couldn't rebuttal anything. You couldn't say anything. So there's not much you can do. Um, so, but my thought is, all right, what did you say now? Terry Bland. That damn heart, right where your text, just type takeoff vision, just text yo real quick because I can't read the whole message because there's a heart right there blocking my. Look, I'll show you. You can see this. Look at this. You see that heart that's sit there right in the corner? You see that heart? Anytime somebody texts, that heart's blocking the whole message. And I can never read the whole message. It pisses me off. Hold on, let me shrink out of this. There we go. Terry Lambert had a bad past. Did you say past? Did you say past or post? No, that's past. Had a bad past. He destroyed the J. Allen Kirk mask while recasting it. Okay. I don't really know too much about that. Good. Asylum Nightshade paints are the best. Pipe Master, you still there? Yeah, I'm gonna get this mask. Pipe Master, don't sweat it, man. I will have this thing perfect. And then you're a stickler when it comes to the lips, Pipe Master, and I know that. This will be perfect. And if you end up getting a flashback mask, please bring it down so at least I can actually compare it, my lips to its lips, just to see how close I am. But remember, I also really want to stick to doing the screen used mask. I don't want to copy, I almost said Cemetery Gate. I don't want to copy, come on. I can't think of the company. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to copy anybody's mask at all. It's somebody else's work, and yeah, I know I'm doing it free-handed, and I'm actually doing. I'm not copying it and say, so to speak, making a mold out of it. I'm doing it with my eyes and my hands, and using it as a cheat sheet. But I'm kind of curious to how close these lips are, and everything to it, to the actual, to his mask. So anyway, yeah, this is a challenge, man. It is a challenge to get these sculptures right on the money. Very challenging. I think this cheek has to be bulged out just a little bit more over here, right in here more. I don't know. It's hard to tell with the shadowing. It really is. The lighting on the you saw the picture when I showed you guys the screen. It's hard to see the actual shape of the cheeks because I don't have every angle. I don't have a picture of this thing at every angle. You need this. You need pictures at every possible angle, and I'm not talking about taking a picture here, here, and then over here. You got to go boop 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 boop. You got to do literally a scan. That would be the ideal thing. Scan it, but I don't want to copy somebody. I would scan the. I can run a scan of that. I can actually get that scanned. The No, you can't. Still can't because it's still two-dimensional pictures. You can't get a scan on that. Scanner won't work. You'd have to have something three-dimensional right here and then run a scan on it to get a scanned copy. Um, yeah, that's another thing. Scanners today can make a solid copy for anybody, and they can copy the mask anytime they want. It's terrible. I love 3D scanning for other reasons, but when it comes to copying like art stuff, somebody's work, man, I would freak the frig out if I found my stuff being sold by somebody. Um, I would sue the living crap out of them because I have a legit business. My business is custom corpses. Um, Now I'm not talking about the Michael Myers because that is literally open game because it's already copyright protected. So I'm really not. But if my own work, my own personal work, was literally being copied on I don't care if somebody uses my work as in reference, you know, that's 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 an honor. That's how I look at that. I look at that as an honor. But when somebody literally takes your mask as something that you created from scratch, not the Michael Myers, like my own thing, but whether it be a scarecrow mask or something, and they take it that mask and they put a 3D scanner on it to make a hard copy of it so they can make a mold and reproduce the mask themselves and sell it. Let me catch somebody doing that. They're in trouble. Trust me. Because the first thing I do with having the legit business is I'm going to copyright protect my sculpture. I will not. Um, I would not go unprotected. That goes for anybody, it's just not right. I would not like copying somebody else's work. That's just not right. I know how hard it is to do this, man. It's a lot of work. 3 years in the making here, man. I can't imagine doing. Although if I'm doing original creatures, I'm not making a copy of something. Nothing has to be identical to whatever the picture is. Everything is its own thing. So you don't have to be identical to any of it. All right, I'm going to read your comments. I was just trying to smooth out a little bit. All right, hold on a second. All right, let me read up. Uh, Asylum, you got jokes, buddy. You got jokes. Love it. Drizzle them with strawberry. What are you talking? Strawberry cake. Okay. Everybody, Asylum's got jokes. You gotta read Asylum correctly. He's a funny dude. So anyway, Takeoff Vision. He basically destroyed. Okay, I read that already. That image of Michael with his blinded eye looks so creepy. Oh yeah, it's a great shot. It's a great picture. Dead on shot too. And the thing is, the picture that I'm using right here, it's literally not. See, whenever somebody takes a picture, all right, you don't want a picture if you're trying to get a dead on shot. You don't want a picture that's being taken from above, even the slightest little bit. It can't be above or a little below. It literally has to be straight on. And the center of my shot, since I'm worried about the face, I'm gonna say the center of the face. I'm taking that picture, aiming directly at this point, dead level. This way I see the face dead on, and I have to do it from a distance. Um, Here, because of how I'm seated, I'm above. My eyes are literally up here, They're about even with the top of the forehead, right here. That's where my eyes are. So I'm naturally looking down on this a little bit. And it's pain in the neck. I'm going to probably elevate this thing so it's literally straight in my face. That's partially the reasons why I struggle a little with it. Okay, I'm going to drizzle nightshade paints on strawberry cake for flavor. Yum! Let us know how that turns out there, Asylum. I'm just kind of curious. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. So strawberry cake it is. Asylum must be getting a craving for strawberry cake, or that he's smelling it or something. Something's going on over there. Asylum. You got a hankering for some strawberry cake? Is that what your problem is right now? Also with I don't know what that says. The heart's blocking my view again. Um, also a I don't know if it, also a and I can't even see if it's a D, a C, or whatever. Anyway, cake together. Naphtha. I know you said something about naphtha. A cold glass of naphtha. Oh, yum, 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 yum. I gotta tell you, man, I don't know what that shit tastes like, but it can't be good. Strawberry cake for everybody tonight. Strawberry cake for everybody. We're all doing strawberry cake tonight. So, yeah, this is really coming into its own now. I think the proportions are right. I don't have the lips. Um, I'm just looking at this as a whole. This is actually coming in right. The depth's right. The forehead's out far enough. Everything looks, it's starting to look right. I just have to do more smoothing. And while I'm working on this, I think I'll turn this to the side. Got too big of a chunk there. That's all right. I'll fix that. I'm not left-handed, if nobody noticed. Terrible. All right, let me see how this is shaped here. If I can get the face where I need it to be, everything else will come into play real easy. So what I usually do is I take away a little bit in here. Um, but there's a bulge on this side and this side, just a little bit, and it's pretty much a little bit of a concaving. Just starting to smooth it out a little bit more. Very problematic with the old clay, where the old clay meets the new clay. The old clay doesn't like anything, doesn't like the new stuff sticking to it, and it's brutal. I figured out a way to do it, and I have to do it with naphtha. Naphtha. Top of the head's gonna suck getting this right. A little bit of a dig in here. Yeah, it's still not quite right there. I have to. A little bit of a dent there. That's got to be addressed. No, too much. Too much. Getting the head shape right is so key. Um, when you're copying somebody, if you're copying, yeah, somebody's work or somebody's face, you know, you got to get that head shape right. Um, I'll have to bring this down just a touch on this side, and this side has to come up a little more. I got to get new lights. My lights are shit. Um, my lights are. It's time to get new lights. Getting more balanced. You know, you're really working with crumbs of clay here. You're not really working. You're not throwing too much at one shot. You really have to be careful on how much you put on. I'm trying to bulge out that scowl just a little more. But also be mindful to blend it in so I don't have to scrape it as much. Since I've got the clay pretty warm in my hands. Yeah, that's looking a lot better now. It looks more even. That's about as far out as I'm going to go with the scowl. The scowl has to be now leveled off. Damn it, there's still a dent there. It's funny because the lighting's not good enough here. I gotta get the new lights. All right. it's still there. I got a little bit of a dent right here. I'm going to read your comments in a second here, guys. I got concentrating on this. Well, what's nice about this sculpture is it's going to be bigger. And now this should give me a really nice small mask that will fit everybody. I may not even have to make a large mask. Depends on the only mask I'll need to make is for my brother. He's got a big head, got a big noggin. All the other masks will be one size, I think. That's because once this is done, this is going to be fairly big. This is probably going to, once I shrink it down one time, this will probably give me a 24.5 inch to 25 inch mask. And if I have to shrink it down twice, I will. Yes, sir. All right, let me read your comments before I pick up the tools and start messing around again. Okay, DJ, why don't you use the flashback sculpture pics? Well, I do. Take off vision. I do use this flashback. You mean the ones where it's under bright light that they actually use in the film, the extras? The lighting's too bright. The lighting's too bright when they're showing that. I think that was skillfully done that way too. Trust me. Although they changed the angle of the light as they were doing they kept going around the whole. They kept taking the light and going around the whole thing, but the light was so bright. It revealed one spot, but then it would, it have to take still shots of every little millisecond of the footage to get a real good look at the mask. And I don't know. I think it's also the camera angle that they showed that on. It didn't reveal enough. I'm trying to remember now. I'd have to look at the pictures to give you my idea, my reason why I didn't really like those pictures too much. Although, I don't know. Crumbs of clay, man. Crumbs of clay. That's what we're doing here. Yeah, forehead's coming along now. All I'm doing now is I'm not really taking a lot of material off of this. It's real fine. Very little amount of material coming off. I'm just trying to get it all level and smooth to the point where the naphtha will smooth out the texture of it. There's a big dent right in here. Just got to sneak up on this. This is how you got to do this. You sneak up on this kind of stuff. You don't, what in the world is that? Piece of latex inside my clay. That's pretty weird. Looked like a worm. Yeah, once I get where I want to be with the head shape and this and all this in here, I rake that to bring it out to a perfect, so it's all you have to do what they call a texture rake. It's a raking, and that'll bring everything to the same level. All right, so let me read your comments. Have you seen Trick or Treat? Yes, I did see that movie. That's good. I like that one. Matter of fact, I might watch it tonight. Also, I'm eating deep fried lately. Have you seen Trick or Treat? Yes, I have. Who Venom is? Huh? Can't wait to see the eyebrows. Yes, we're a ways off from the eyebrows, but I already know exactly how they're going to be positioned. I'll give you a little sneak. Here you go. I'm not gonna give you. I'm gonna shape one in my hand and I'll place it where it has to be. How's that? Now it's not going to be perfectly shaped. I'll just do the right eyebrow. Just to show you. Let me see if it's long enough. Yeah, not quite, but yeah, might be. Not quite long enough. Now what I like to do with my eyebrows, since the face is shaped correctly, I put it in the right position and make sure I put that little turn in there. I don't want to smash this in here because I'm not going to do. I'm not keeping it on there. That's the right eyebrow. And that looks like it's in the right position. Well, this has to be a little higher. Although the shadowing is doing that. It's not, no, it's actually high enough. That's pretty much it. Um, Straighter across here though, I have to. And then this little turn has to be a little more. That's pretty much it right there. Not quite right, but it's close. And that's not going to be, that's why I said I got to make sure everything else is right before I go and put the eyebrows on. And this one here, I'll just do that with the same one here, just to show you what that's going to look like. It's got to be flat here. This tip goes down further. It goes down around here, just a little bit further down. Try to pull it. Now they'll be the eyebrows will be a little thicker than that too, but that's how that'll look. Oh, what the hell! Put them on just to show you. You got to remember the eyebrows don't protrude like this, and it's causing a lot of shadowing, so you're not really getting a good look of how the eyebrows are going to look. And I don't want to mash that in because I want to make sure that I want to get the shape perfect first before I go and put eyebrows on. Give me a second here. I think what I'll do on this one is I'll make it thinner and flatter. A little too thin right here. That's all right, I'll fold that over. Yeah, see, with not a lot of shadowing, it looks a lot better with no shadows. You know, made it flatter. This looks a little too round to me. Although that's what it looks like on the mask. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It looks like this. That's how that looks. Okay, I have this too far in on that. Damn it. I had it perfect. The eyebrows they're important, man. They are really important. If they're not right, it changes the whole expression of the face. There you go. Still doesn't look quite right. This one looks shorter than this one because of the positioning of the eye cut. Interesting. Oh, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. All right, so that explains why that bulge is like that. Okay, so on this side of the face, the reason why this doesn't look right, let me turn it towards you. All right, this side of the face, this bulge it's not protruding as much. All right, this side of the face, the bulge is really out there. And that's how it is on the mask. But it's given the illusion that these eyebrows are a lot, well, that actually looks like it is longer. Hold on, let me see something. Uh-uh. The eyebrow's the exact same size almost. See? But because of the way the face is shaped right in here, this bulge, I have to bulge this out just a little bit more. Or else that eyebrow is not going to look right. There's so many little things that you guys will never understand that can change the whole look. Just putting that, this is the exact same size, maybe literally like a less than a 16th short or longer. But just that little bit. And because of the way the shape of this eye cut is, the way this bulge is over here, this looks naturally longer than this one here. Once again, look. You don't believe me? Take a look. It doesn't look right. So I have to make sure that the right eyebrow, this side here, I have to bulge this out a little more. So, but I have to bulge it out and I can't let the eye cut change shape. The eye cut can't change shape. So with that being said, eyebrows are off. I see what I have to do. And I'm going to use this eyebrow stuff right here. Oh, I see. Yeah, holy shit. No wonder. Give me a second here. I'm just trying to shape this clay in my hand enough to where I get what I'm after. I have to build that up slowly but surely. Kind of glad I did that now, guys. That would really sucked if I had to do this later on down the line with this. Yeah, I can see that this is a little bit sticking out further flat, and this is going back too far. It'll be right when I'm done, that's for sure. Yep, the slightest little thing can really screw up your sculpture, man. Just just being a little off can really make a difference in how it looks. Just by having the eye shape not correct, the eye scowl not correct, has changed the way those eyebrows sat. And I have to make sure that this is just as protruding as that. And now I got a weak spot. It goes out and then dips in and then goes back out again. So I have to fix that. Okay, there's too much of a cliff here. I'm trying not to lose my original eye cut. I can still see it perfect. And all I want to do is I'm going to just close in that. Oh yeah. Too much. Crazy. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it'll be off kilter and it won't look right. Now that I've done this, I have to fix this area a little more. Oh yeah, that's looking a lot better. I'll read your comments in a second. See what you started with this eyebrow shit? See what you started with this eyebrow shit? You just wrecked my whole night. No, I'm only kidding. You didn't wreck my night. Actually, I'm glad it happened because now at least I don't have to redo that after I smooth everything out. I just pointed out something, and you've seen it just as well as I did. Just got to make sure that this shape is exactly like that shape, or else the eyebrows won't look right. Um, the eye cut's a little different, but the shape of the scowl isn't. The eye shape of the scowl is pretty much identical, almost. It's never nothing's identical. You ever do that test where you take a picture of one side of your face and flip it in a mirror to see what it looks like? Everybody's face is different. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. The difference is so minimal, and I'll be able to fix that with just shaving away a little bit here. Just make sure I have enough clay on here to captivate to capture, fix the problem, so to speak. Okay, now and I'll have to smooth that all in too. Yeah, oh my God, that really changed the way this face looks a little bit too. Looks a lot better. Yeah, that should do it. It still looks a little bit too bulgy right over here. But that's okay. I can fix that with, I know what I want to do here. You always have to remember when you're looking at a sculpture, right, and you're looking at it in such a way that the clay's here. So you're seeing the clay up underneath, you're seeing the clay here, but when it's a mask, the clay's all, clay, the rubber's all gone, and all you have is an eye cut. The key is getting everything shaped just right, because if you don't have that shape right, you're going to end up with something that don't look like a Michael Myers mask. I'm just trying to get this. I'm going to read your comments in a sec. Need a smaller, bigger than that. There it is. God, there's so much clay all over the place. The reason why I'm backfilling this over here is because I need it to be supportive of any kind of. I need that clay to be up inside that eye cut, or else it'll cave in. It was kind of dug out in here, and I don't want it to cave in. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's just read comments. I think I'm done doing. I did a lot of work today. I did. We're really getting close. Getting closer. Wow, that looks really bulging over there. I know what has to happen though. This is what has to happen to get that bulgy look out of there. All right, one, I got to fill in here more, and I got to fill in this area more. All right, so damn, I pulled myself away from the. Let me do that. I'm going to do this because I don't like the way that looks on camera. So there's casting a lot of shadows too. So that's not really the real reason. See what that did for that right there. Now I need to reestablish that scowl. In case you're wondering, that's what that's called, the scowl. This area right here, that's a scowl. Alright, still not quite done yet. Because this undercut is so bad. See what that did to the eye cut? By fixing, I had to bulge it out here, but then I had too much underneath of that wasn't conducive to what I was doing. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Just trying to match this side with this side. You want to make sure that they're pretty close. Okay. Now the thing I have to do here. every time you make a little change here or there, it can affect the whole look. Just a little change can really change everything. So keep that in mind if you guys ever want to tackle sculpting. Slightest little change can give it a whole new expression. All right, I need to read some comments because I don't know how far back. Okay, so the last thing I read was who Venom is. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about there. Okay. Hard dude, what's up, buddy? What's in your opinion? The cost overrated horror? I'm not sure what that means. The most. Okay, the most overrated horror film. Well, geez. Let's put it another way. Something that got overrated. It didn't get rated high. It was pumped really high. Now there's two different things here. All right, there was I can't remember the name of the movie, man, but it was so bad. But the previews looked amazing. The previews looked really great, and then when you went to the theater, you walked out after 10 minutes. We were gone. We were out the door. So, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was about these people living in this old village, and something in the woods was terrifying them, and they were coming to get them. And the previews looked really great. They took the only scene that was any good in that whole movie and used it as their launching platform. Man, we got up. It was such a dumb movie. My brother was with me. We rolled out of there so fast. I was like, "Nah, I'm done." Up, I got up, and he was like, "Oh, you're leaving it for real?" I said, "Yeah, I'm done. I've had enough. I'm out." Took off. I never finished watching that movie. Don't care to, but I wish I remember the name of it. Anyway, now there's that kind of preview or overrated. Then there's movies that some people would say the original Halloween is overrated. And here's the difference. If you're younger and you've been your eyes have been opened up to so many more type of movies that are out there that are even kind of like the original Halloween or even scarier, like Paranormal Activity. Man, that was freaky. That's a freaky movie. All of them. Uh, some people don't think it's that great. Some people do. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're younger, you've been desensitized to a lot of classic. Now, when you watch a classic movie now, and you look back at those 70s and 80s movies that were scary back in those days, the difference is you've been desensitized as a younger person, seeing all the stuff that's available to you now. All right, and you are not going to see those movies. You're going to look at it and go, "Well, this is corny. This is slow. This is too." Well, back in the day, they always added a lot more suspense to movies. They build it up, build it up, build it up. There wasn't all this gore, and there was gory movies. Don't get me wrong, but there wasn't like a classic movie was made in such a way where they gave you more suspense in a movie. All right, and it was well written, and usually there was character development in the movie. So you really, when you did lose somebody that died, you cared about them. You're like, "Damn, man, I wish that person didn't die." There's that part of it. Now it's just slice and dice, baby. Whoever dies, who cares? There's no character development. I think that's why The Walking Dead was so successful, because there was a lot of character development in that show. And you cared about those people that were dying left and right, well, not left and right, but people that died throughout the series. That was 11 years that thing went. And the reason why it was so successful is because they really focused on character development. And people cared about the people that actually were in the movie, in the show, so to speak. Now today, most movies are, like, how many kills can we get? How gross can we make it? And very little character, not real good story writing. There's no real suspense in movies anymore. I'd rather watch a slow, suspenseful build up and then really have a great, you know, banger as a great ending to it. Or a twist to it that really throws you off guard. You think it's going one way, and the next thing you know it, man, it's like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. There's that. So just remember, if you're younger, you've been exposed to a lot more not only classic horror movies, but you've been desensitized to a lot of the new stuff with the new stuff. Uh, Take off vision. The right eyebrow needs to be higher and straight. Yeah, well, that's why I built this up. I have to build this up and bring this in where it needs to be. That's one of the reasons why it doesn't look quite right. Yeah. So, but getting back to Trick or Treat is better than the original Halloween. For you, it probably is. And the thing is, you got to remember all right, Asylum, you have to remember all these newer movies that have been made, they have used the elements of those classic movies to launch their ideas. Halloween was the first of its kind. Actually, there was only two other movies that were similar, but totally different. Black Christmas, 1974, and I'm going to say, come on, it was just off the top of my head. Black Christmas, 1974, and Psycho, the original Psycho from Alfred Hitchcock. That's what Halloween basically, that's the only, you had Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That was creepy, but here's the difference. Not creepy, that's not the right word. That movie was disturbing, all right? There's a difference between scary and disturbing. To me, gory, weirded, psychopathic type of guys, or really psycho like that, that's disturbing to me. That's more of a disturbing movie than it is actually a scary movie. It's scary because it's disturbing. I'm not saying that, but it's a different type of movie. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre is nothing like Halloween. Halloween had very little blood in it. It was all about suspense. It was all about him. It was all about Michael Myers actually stalking people. That's what gave it a very scary element. His point of view, watching people, that was a neat thing. I always thought that was a very cool element that they added with Michael Myers. And you know what? 2018, the kills and the ends mask, they never recaptivated that. They should have used that same thing where you're looking through his eye holes, or not even looking through his eye holes. You were just looking at him watching people. Him watching somebody. They didn't use that at all in the 2018 movie, or the kills, or the ends. And that was like a huge element in the original film, that if you didn't see him physically watching somebody from like the opposite side of the room, you were seeing his point of view, or like right behind his shoulder watching somebody. And that's, believe me, back in the day, that had girls freaking out in the theater. They instantly saw more than they thought they saw. That's one thing about Halloween, is people thought they saw a lot of gore in that movie. They didn't see any gore. What they did was they tricked you back in the day. A method that John Carpenter used, he made you think you saw what you didn't see. and that's through suspense. It's through, uh, it's just the way he shot the movie. It was brilliant. It was a brilliant movie, um, for a lot of for a lot of reasons that you may or may not understand. Um, uh, it was the first, I'm going to say the first of its kind. It really was. And, you know, everything after that was a copycat. Even Jason Voorhees with, you know, Friday the 13th. As soon as Michael Myers had the success that it had, man, all of a sudden they developed this Jason character. But they turned into him just a killing machine. And you didn't really care about the characters that were in the movie. You just didn't give a shit. They just made it about a body count, you know, and that's good. It had its thing. It had some funny scenes in it. I thought there were some very good humor in that. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I did like the movie, but it's a different type of movie. John Carpenter was really, uh, his movie was developed in such a way where he really was focused on suspense and character development. And when you care about a character, when you see somebody die, oh man, Roy, they're going to kill that person, or they're going to kill that, you know, Linda. I think the girls, I didn't mind if they died because they were annoying. Both of them. I felt them. I felt they were, with their dialogue. Their dialogue was annoying, but there was a lot of truth in that dialogue. Back in the day, uh, back in the 70s when I grew up, people would catchphrase. They would use catchphrases, and they would literally wear them out. You know, yo, what's up, man? What's up, man? You know how many times I heard "What's up, man" at the end of a sentence, or "Yo, man, man," the word "man," or you know, at that point in time, believe it or not, in the movie they used it, where she said "totally" a million times. And the way she said it is exactly how people overused catchphrases back in the 70s. They literally would take a phrase and wear it out. And people did it all the time. The kids did it, especially kids, all the time. They, you know, totally, 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 totally. It just, it, there was a lot of realism to that. That was really how it was back in those days. It was crazy, you know. Interesting, but yeah, there's reasons why you have favorite movies uh, over what's today. You know what, the classics versus what's, you know, out there. How many things you've been exposed to today. Those movies are never going to really be that entertaining to you because it's like the instant gratification of today. Like you guys want instant, like you want instant kills, instant, you know, instant everything. And back in the day, that's not how it was. Um, you know, there was suspense, there was build up, there was story writing, there was, you know, good story, and a lot of character development. So you cared about the people that were in the movie, and they did that. A lot of it, I'll tell you, a lot of it was because, you know, in some of those movies there were good actors, you know, and they didn't want to be in a movie that didn't have strong characters. Like if you take Donald Pleasance out of Halloween, you pretty much don't have a movie. Donald Pleasance was the backbone to Halloween, and it was because he was a well-known actor. He was a classic actor, and he even says it in his interview. The only reason he's doing this movie is because his daughter liked John Carpenter's music. Well, Donald Pleasance went on to the movie and then read the script. And he read everybody's script to get an idea of what this movie was going to be and what it was going to be about. We fell in love with it. He fell in love with the script. He fell in love with the storyline because he's a developed, skilled actor that knows when he reads a good script versus when he reads a piece of garbage. All right. And if it was a piece of garbage, he would not have been in that movie. So that has a lot to do with how things are done. Today, I don't think the actors are trained the same way. They're not even that good. I don't think there's too many actors out there that I say they're that good, even including The Rock. I don't think he's that great of an actor. He can be funny at times, and if the script is good, he's good. But if the script is bad, he can't. He's just, I've seen him deliver some bad lines before in movies, and I thought, that wasn't that great, But you know, I'm just saying, there's people that the actors, the skill level's not there. You gotta remember, back in those days, all the way up until the early '80s, the actors were trained so much differently. They were trained to sing if they could sing. You had to have some ability. Sing, importantly, dance, uh, act, and you were playing some kind of instrument. You could play an instrument, key, piano, whatever. They could do everything. A lot of the actors back in the day, they were able to do everything, you know, and that's not how they're trained today. They're trained to be a specific specialty, and some of them have abilities, but they're not highlighted. Um, it's just way different time, way different the way things are done today. I don't like today's movies. I really don't. I'll run across a couple gems here and there, but I always find myself, the reason why I like that new movie is because they used old techniques. They used elements of things that were done years ago that made that movie better. And great, The Walking Dead. I love that TV show. If you haven't watched it, you need to start watching it. It's not on. There's no longer seasons anymore, but there's 11 seasons and a lot of Walking Dead that you can get into and really follow it, and it's really good. And that's a perfect example of how things were done back in the day versus how things are really done today, and they just used a lot of the elements from back in the day and captivated the audience through character development and storyline and great actors. None of those actors that were in that show, they brought some heavy hitters in, but not real heavy hitters. They brought some in as the show went on, but the majority of the actors that started that show, that was their first gig. Maybe not their first gig, but they were, it was the first time they were in the recognizable. They were, that was their big shot. And man, I'll tell you right now, Andrew Lincoln is a amazing actor. Every cast member in there, including Daryl, Daryl Dixon. That's the character name. Now I'm trying to remember his name. Norman Reedus, great actor, great actor. But in the TV show, his character doesn't get much development. That's the sad thing. It does and it doesn't. He doesn't really change too much as who he is, but his circumstances changes, and you see some lightheartedness to him through. It's just different. That's all. I can always explain it so many ways on how films are done today versus yesterday. So you can't criticize something back in the past and claim that it. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Like, what made Trick or Treat good for you? What did you like about it? I guarantee you the elements are the same. In other words, they used suspense, they had character development, they made it so there was somebody there that you wanted to see die. That's also part of character development. You hate somebody that's in the show, and it's because they purposely make you hate that guy or girl, and you can't wait to see them die. That's all part of character development too. That's all part of it. So all the elements are in that. I think I have seen Trick or Treat. I did see that. It was good. It was good, a good one. But the reason why it was good is because they used old techniques. It's just the way I see it. Original idea, and You know, it was just original. Now, I don't like the Saw series. I don't like the Saw movies at all. That's just a gory, sadistic movie. Movies. They're just gory and sadistic. That's all they are. And very demented and disturbing. But that's just my taste. I'm not saying you don't have to follow what I like. I just think that yes, also atmosphere is a big element. You know, if you watch Halloween in silence, that is the most boring ass movie you'll ever watch in your life. And I've done it. I've done it at where actually just turned all the volume down and just put it on screen and tried to follow it and see those same scary moments that were in Halloween. You know, now none of that's scary to me now because I've just been way desensitized to Halloween. I've seen it way too many times, but I still like to watch it for nostalgia reasons. Now, atmosphere. Atmosphere is so key to a scary, suspenseful movie, and the soundtrack has to be killer. Now, there doesn't have to be a soundtrack like a song, like he did for Halloween. He did that to develop. You know, he did that. Well, one, John Carpenter's a musician, and he really created something there. It was just absolutely whoa. I don't think he realized how much of an iconic soundtrack that was, you know, for a movie. But not at the time. He even says that. He says, I didn't know what I was creating. I was just, they gave me $300,000. I went out there and I made a movie. And he settled everything over a tuna fish sandwich. So it was kind of interesting, you know, to hear the storyline on how that movie was made. And, you know, if you guys really are Halloween fans, I suggest you should read into or watch the videos on, you know, the behind the scenes stuff because that was really cool. You know, it really shows you a lot of where John Carpenter's mindset was. He used elements, the blue light effect that he was using. He stole that idea from a movie called Chinatown. Chinatown with Jack Nicholson, and they used blue light in that movie, and it was, you know, in suspenseful ways. And he thought, wow, that was such a great idea. He used it in Halloween. He used the blue light effect, and what it did, what I captivated, because I didn't know anything about the blue light when we were first seeing the movie. It just gave you more of a natural moonlight look in the film. You know, it looked like you were, like the moon was out all the time, you know, and it gave you just enough light to see things. And in the house, and, you know, when he's walking through the house and stuff, and that blue light was on, casting a lot of shadows. And it just gave you that feeling like the moon was out bright that night. So there's elements that give you that suspenseful look. If you look at all the old horror movies, I mean, back in the 60s and 70s, man, a lot of those movies had great atmosphere, really great with lighting. They really knew how to do it. And they also knew a trick with camera angles. Now, I'm talking to you like I know a lot of stuff about movie making. I kind of do because I have friends that do movies. So I do understand movie making. And do I know everything about movie? No, not even close. But I do understand some of it. And anyway, you know, atmosphere is huge key. The way the camera shots are, the angles, you know, a camera angle is more scary, can be more scary than any, like if you're looking at something dead on, that's not scary. But you change that angle. Now I'm going to give you an example. I'll give you an example. Oh, that's not what I want to turn on. Hold on. Give me a second here. There we go. Sorry for that loud bang. That was my tripod holder. If you take this angle and you look at it straight on, it's not that scary. All right. Atmosphere is one of the most important attributes to it. Yeah, sure it is. Now, if you take this angle and you're like Michael Myers is coming after somebody and he's coming at you. Now I do this to this. I shoot this movie and I catch him walking up on a pathway and he's looking across at somebody like that. All right, see the angle? The angle of the picture is what really gives it that creepiness, that angle. Especially with like the lighting, there's a lot. Yes, Venom is the evil I know about Venom. I do. I know about the Venom. Um, yeah, but atmosphere is huge, man. That is like atmosphere, sound. I mean, it's even if it's not a theme song, you got to have that creepiness elements that really make your hair stand on edge. And the combination is everything. You got to have the right sound. You got to have the suspense. You have to have, you know, good story writing. Um, that's key. But wow, I've been on for 175 minutes already. It's a long night tonight, but that's all right. I'm getting there. I'm getting closer to the flashback mask. That's what this guy's going to be. We're getting closer and closer. We just have to keep pushing until we get it right. Um, yep. Now I see that I still have to scrape out some more of this over here because I want it to look just like this side in the shape. So this way the eyebrows work. There I am. And we are using that picture right there for this guy. Now I'm a ways off from getting it right where it needs to be. So just know that we're getting closer. Yeah, I'm trying to see. There we go. Yep. Now, I got down lighting on this, so you don't really see underneath the chin area too well. You can't see what that looks like. But that's going to be looking like that when I'm done. The eye cuts, everything's got to be right. Nose has to be right. Everything's got to be right. Shape of the head. I'm looking at the head. The head even looks like it needs to be wider even at the top. But that's when somebody's wearing the mask. I'm looking at, I got another photograph where there's nobody inside the mask. That gives you a true idea of what the shape of the actual sculpture was. So I'm going to start looking at those pictures too and use those for reference. Because as we're getting closer, shaping it is going to be the last detail when you're fine tuning it. I'll add a little clay here, a little, and take away a little there, and just kind of fine tune it to get it right. Well, guys, I'm starving. I haven't eaten. My sugar's dropping. I definitely have to get something in my stomach. But I wanted to let you guys know that I'm still plugging away at this. I am not stopping. I definitely want to keep going with this sculpture, get it going, and get this thing finished. I've got my night creeper ready to go over here. Well, got to fix this area right over here just a little bit, but that's nothing but smoothing it out. But the thing's textured and everything. It just needs to be siliconed, and then I'm going to make a master mold and make a really good night creeper. I'm going to keep plugging away. Belongs to the grave. I like that name. That's pretty cool. Belongs to the grave. I should trust Venom, huh? That's funny. Yeah, so don't ever try to compare movie. I mean, you do. We naturally do that, but you have to understand the reasonings that why movies are so different from yesteryear compared to today. And a lot of the one thing is I can say is I think we're at the point where everything's been done. So the movies are really tough to do. No, I'm going to change the ends mask right there. I have it up there on my shelf. I'm going to rehaul it. I'm going to take all the hair off of it. I'm gonna overhaul that mask. I want to get my sculptures done. This is my thing. That these masks are going to be in production by fall, in time for Halloween. That's my goal. I want them in production for this year, and then next year I'm going to age these masks, these sculptures, to make them look like 2018, the kills and the ends. And I'll probably do the kills, ends, and all that based off of the flashback because this sculpture that I'm doing right now is going to be more representative to the Christopher Nelson version. Yes, I'm going to repaint it. I've got an airbrush set up over there. I'm gonna do that. That's going to be one of my things I'm going to do with the kills, the ends, and I have a kills mask that I did I turned it into a fire mask, and it looks like like he's standing on the porch, and the face is all glowing, the hair is all orange. You'd have to see it to understand what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, I'll take you guys out there real quick, show you the fire mask that I made. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. So I'm going to disconnect from here. Yeah, I'm just looking down on the scale. And almost perfect. Same shape, almost. This has to come down just a little bit more in here. Yep. So, all right, so let's go take a look at the fire mask. And it's actually a kills mask that I painted to look like he was on the porch in Kills, killing all the firemen, where the mask was glowing from the flames all around him. So it looked like the mask was orange and red, and I actually used it. Let me show you this mask. You'll love it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. And I might sell this mask to anybody out there that might want this. It's called the fire mask. Okay. See this guy? This is my overhaul. What I did. See what I did with the fire mask? This is a kills mask. It still has the tag on it and everything. It's in great shape. I have the water drain running down on it. I have the blood coming off his cheek. I have synthetic hair on there with black undertones. And then this here is all melted on this side. But as you can see, let me try to put this down so I can explain. All right, so you have orange look here. It looks yellow in here. And then it's orange and burnt looked over here. This might be one of those masks that I might give away in a contest or something. Maybe I'll do that. I might do that. I might do some kind of contest. I don't know. I have to figure it out. But this is to represent. And you notice how I redid all the real good detail and all the cracks. I captivated all that, and a lot of that stuff's been painted in. A lot of it's in the mask, but like you can see the Night Creeper mask. What, painted like this? That'd be pretty cool. The synthetic hair is a bitch. It's hard to really glue that on here and style it. See the synthetic hair? It's got the little pompadour up top here, and on the other side it's burnt and matted down. But you can't really wrinkle this up. Synthetic hair won't wrinkle up. But it's the only kind of stuff I could find that was literally like a fluorescent orange. And it looked really cool. I was like, you know what? That's cool looking. And what I did was, you see how, like, you see the different shades of red in here? I used what they call an ink. I used a special ink that I kind of sprayed into this and gave it the different shades. Like in here, it's darker. Believe me, there's a lot of elements to this that were really cool. Like this is all melted. Literally did this with a torch because it's synthetic hair and it's made out of like plastic and it melts really nice. I got to fix some of this stuff. It's coming up on me, or trim it or something. I don't know. But so, what do you guys think of this fire mask? It's like, you know what it is? It's like the poster mask. Hold on, let me see if I have a. I don't have the poster. I used to have the artwork right next to the mask. There was a poster that the face looked like this when he was standing on the porch on the poster art. And that's what I was like, oh yeah, let me do that. That would be cool. So that's what I did with the fire. That's what I called the fire mask. So I don't know. What do you guys think of this mask? It's a kills mask. It's not an ends mask. It's a kills mask. But the kills and the ends are pretty much the same thing. Although the ends mask is a little bigger in size. And I have, check this guy out. This is a Rob Zombie's Halloween. And I have another mask back there that I can probably sell or give away. But that's a Rob Zombie. And it's actually battery operated. The arm kind of goes up and down, stabbing or whatever the hell it is. I forget. And I think you hear a weird theme or something. But that's a cool little thing. I got my little air freshener. Anything else you guys want to know? I got my fan here in case I get overheated. So what do you guys think of that? Should we do a maybe I'll do a fire mask and sell the damn. I don't know. I don't know if anybody would be interested in buying a fire mask. Interested in purchasing? You know, just curious. Oh, I'm getting a lot of. I'm sorry. There we go. You gotta let the camera come back to normal. You walk around like that with the camera, I think it messes up to your Wi-Fi. Yeah, oh yeah, it's got a lot more detail. The ends mask is actually, I think, a better mask for detail. And I like the size of it. I think I could make that a kills mask as well. I mean, what's the difference? It's supposedly the same mask. You just take away your. It is a different sculpture, though. It's a different sculpture. It's not the same sculpt. It's close, but it's not the same. So I'm curious to. I already know the method that I'm going to use to paint that. My plan for it anyway. No, none of them. All three of those masks are different. They're all three of them are different sculpts. He created each one of those masks separately. Now, I think he used the base sculpture. I think he probably did a clay pour, and then altered them each. Although he couldn't have used the 2018. Well, he could have. He just would have had to add more clay to the 2018 because the 2018 was a very small mask. Maybe, yeah, now see, they could have done the same process that I do to make smaller masks. And that's make a large sculpture and make a master copy of that. And then you could make different size masks. Yeah, oh yeah, there's the ends mask, got to remember it went through the fire. So the eye cuts droop a little bit more. Everything's a little bit droopier. Um, the ends mask is supposed to be the kills mask, uh, just over several years later, or 4 or 5 years later, or whatever it was. I hated the movie Ends. I couldn't stand that movie. It was horrible. My favorite one of 2018 was good, but Kills was awesome because of all the kills that Michael Myers really did. He went on a rampage, and that was really cool. I liked that. Um, I hated all the political crap that they threw into it, with the crowds going ape shit and all that. I just didn't like that, and I don't like uh, what's her name, Jamie Lee Curtis as an actress. I just don't. I think she was good when she was young. Now she overacts. She overacts, too dramatic, too like, oh my God, just. But her personal life is. I mean, I don't know her personally, but I mean, her political point of views don't match mine. That's for sure. But I just don't like that drama. I don't like that overreacting. Um, I don't know. I just wish they'd kill her off. And I just think she's just not. I don't know. There's just something about her. I just can't put my finger on it. I just never really. I mean, it was good when it was the first Halloween and the second one, but when she was a kid, I didn't even like her before the political shit got involved with it. I didn't even care about that. But back when she did 20, what was it? 20 years later, I forget which one that was. She was the first one back for her. I didn't like that movie. I didn't like it. I don't know. It's just me. Uh, I just wish they had killed her off a long time ago and make it about Michael Myers, because that's really what it was about. Everybody was trying to make her into a superhero, I guess, with she's the only one that can kill Michael, I guess. I don't know. It was kind of dumb. Or Michael was after her. That was, if that's the avenue they would have, if that's the avenue they were going to take. I have my own version of what Halloween Ends should have been, and I've already told you guys that on past videos, on how they could have done Ends, and it would have been so much better, I think. And that's if Michael's motivation was to kill Laurie Strode. I don't know. My thing is, I think Michael just doesn't like things unfinished. If he goes after somebody, uh, whoever he selects, he doesn't stop until that person is dead. That's my theory on Michael Myers. Once he stalks you, that's it. You're gone. It's not if, it's when. He's going to get you at some point. Um, but he doesn't let you off the hook. That's my version of what I think Michael Myers is, as far as why he kills and goes after certain people. Why he goes after that certain person is a mystery, and that's what's good. You want some mystery with him. But his reasoning is, he's unreasonable. He's not somebody that can be reasoned with. When he goes after you, you're dead. It's like I said, it's not if, it's when. So that's my theory on that. Even if Laurie Strode got away, and he finds out where she's at, he's going to go after her because he never finished the job. So that's my thought. Is it personal? Is it because she's his sister and all that bullshit? And I never liked any of that. That was a terrible storyline. No, Michael Myers doesn't have rhyme or reason. He's just a plain out psychopathic killer, and he doesn't stop for anybody or anything. Now, the one thing he really didn't do until Halloween Kills, or was it 2018? It was the first time he killed a kid. The kids he doesn't really go after. He just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then he just does his own thing. He doesn't go after kids. He goes after teenagers and anybody else that gets in his way. So it's just interesting, you know. But I'm going to jump off of here, guys. I got to get something to eat, man. I'm tired. What color for the ends mask? I'll tell you what color I'm going to be using to get that yellow. I'll give it. I got it right in front of me, right here. All right. This is the paint company. You want to get Nightshades. All right, Nightshades, and it's made by. Look up Nightmare Toys. Nightshades rubber mask paint. It's zombie flesh medium. That's what it is right there. Zombie flesh medium. That's the color you want for your Halloween ends mask. That's your base color with some white. Now you're gonna add white layers over top of this for your highlights. But that's your base color right there is your yellow. It's like a yellowish. It's zombie flesh. That's the only thing. Zombie flesh medium. They have medium. They have light. They have dark. But zombie flesh medium. I got a big tub of it. You can see the price is probably it's probably more expensive than that now because I got this a couple years ago. It's $15.99 for a thing of latex. Nightshades, best mask paint out there, best. And that's what I'm using from now on. I used to make my own paints. You can see them up on the shelf still. 1 part distilled water, 1 part mask latex, and 1 part acrylic paint. And that's how you make your own paint. You can make your own mask latex paint, but you have to have mask latex, not the Spirit of Halloween stuff that's already thinned out way too thin. Mask latex is the main ingredient to your mask paint for doing masks. So just keep that in mind. You know, so what you do is you're going to do a base coat in this right here. Then you're going to you're going to highlight with the white and off white. Like I'm going to use my very light coats of fish belly white that I'm going to put over top of that in the highlighted areas, like where the scowl is, the nose, the cheek areas get a little bit more highlights. You know, where the high spots are. That's where you put your white highlights in there. See the 2018 tots, or not 2018. I'm sorry, the 1978 tots right there, right next to it. That is fish belly white, and that's why you see that glowish. It gives it a really weird glow to the color of it. It's got a really cool glow. And at nighttime in the light, it's really creepy looking. That light, if a moonlight hits it, it literally looks like the mask glows. And that's the difference, you know. And I think that is really perfect for like filming and stuff. That glowy. That doesn't mean you can't have yellows in it and stuff. You can add yellow textures and stuff into the areas like that is on that. But that fish belly white is the way to go, and that is basically plain white, flat white, all right, acrylic, and you're going to add just a touch, all right, if this was pure white in this bottle here, and this is what, I don't remember how many ounces, 16 ounces. If this was pure white inside this bottle, I'd put 1 drop of cobalt blue in there. 1 drop, and then shake that up. 1 drop, and then just if it needs a little more, you just 1 drop at a time. Cobalt blue, and it'll give it that off-white look, but you won't be able to put your finger on it. You'll be going, is that gray? Why does it look so spooky, like ghostly? Called fish belly white. That's why it's ghostly looking. And I think that that's going to be, that's always going to be my staple color for any of the white that goes on my masks. If a latex mask is thick and too warped, how long do I have to keep it? How long do I have to keep it stuffed? Well, I'll tell you what you can do. All right, stuff it, right, and then take a hair dryer, not a heat gun, a hair dryer, and just warm it up a little bit. Just go over the mask, but carefully, and just warm it up, and that mask will go right back to shape. It should go right back to its original shape. You just want to warm up the latex and you know, be careful when you do it though. You don't want to burn the latex, the mask itself, because if you do that, you'll destroy your mask because it'll dry rot. It'll make the latex dry rot more faster. So be very careful how you do it and make sure you don't do it for too long. But you can bring that shape right back to normal with a little bit of a hair dryer, not a heat gun. Remember that, hair dryer. And that's an old mask trick. I've had to do that with a couple of my masks. Actually, the mask that's inside that bin there, I have to do that with. Well, heat gun's too hot. Heat gun will friggin' burn your latex. If you burn the latex, you'll dry out the latex and it'll get hard wherever you put that heat on that latex. The latex will start aging and hardening up. I already did it. I already did it to this mask. I gotta buy a new mask. All right, right here. See this? See how it's all cracking? I made the nose too hot with a heat gun. I used a heat gun. There's a lesson learned right there. No heat gun. It has to be a hair dryer. But now this is all cracking right here. This is all like hardened latex on the outside. It's all dry rotted. That's what happens when you take all the moisture out of the latex. You will destroy it, and you can see like brown spots where it got a little too hot. You know, that's a spot right there. All right, so I peeled all the paint off of this, and I'm gonna repaint it just for the fun. But you know, that's what happens to latex. So you just got to be careful with it. That's all. Yeah, I'm going to paint it. I got to put a black coat on the entire thing first. I'm going to black coat it. Blacks. I'm gonna buy some more of this latex paint from Nightshades, and I'm going to get their black latex paint, and I'm going to base coat the whole thing in black latex. If it holds up, it holds up. If it doesn't, I don't give a damn. You know, I'll get another mask. That's all. I don't really care. And I'll repaint, overhaul it. That was my original mask that I did for me. But I'm gonna paint over it just to do it. See how it turns out. See how long it lasts. But when something dries out like that, you're pretty much screwed. I don't think that'll come back because you're always going to have that layer of bad latex underneath of that paint. You know, I don't think it'll re-moisturize. I don't think that's possible. Latex becomes like a shell, like a thin plastic almost once it hardens up. Well, that was a heat gun. Actually, that wasn't a heat gun that I used on there. I was using a wood burner to take out the paint that was inside the details of the cracks. I have a special wood burner, and for whatever reason, that nose, and the top of that head got a little too hot, and dried out that section of nose. You know, and it is what it is. I ain't sweating it. The other thing too is make sure you don't have any ultraviolet lights anywhere near your latex mask. That will ruin a mask like within months. 2 months of ultraviolet light. That's why you can't put your masks in direct sunlight. Yeah, well, first of all, the Halloween kills our Halloween 2018 mask. When they first showed that, masks don't age like that. That was 40 years. That mask was supposedly 40 years old. Well, first of all, masks don't last 40 years unless you're really, really taking care of it. And even when you do take care of it, you know, it starts to really get deformed and stuff, and it definitely it starts losing. It naturally deteriorates, and the eye holes open up, the cracks become rigid. The sometimes the latex literally hardens into a hard. It feels like a hard plastic. So that 2018 mask, there's no way a mask would have aged like that. They made that mask look more like a zombie version of the original mask. And that was cool. I liked it for what it was, but that's not how masks really age. So, anyway, I just figured I'd let you guys know. And I got to get off of here. I'm sorry. I got to get off here. There's 5 people on. Hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe. Join the channel. I am constantly working with the Michael Myers until it's done. Once I get these 2 done, then I'll have my base sculptures for what I do with these masks. I'm going to age them into the 2018 and into the kills and ends. And I'm going to do that to both of these sculptures. Natural, because that looks more like the original Halloween, and that's going to be aged to look like what the 2018 would have looked like if they actually used the Shatner. And that's what I'm going to do with that. And I'm actually thinking about doing a concept mask, like my own concept mask out of this. But the more I keep doing this, the more like I just want to move on to other things. I want to get into doing scarecrows and zombies and fun stuff that I don't actually have to replicate. I can make it my own sculpture, and I don't have to be copying every little detail of something because that takes forever. I want to get to the point where I'm spitting out maybe a mask in a week. You know what I mean? And just cool looking, but not this extravagance of trying to make sure that every crumb is exactly in the right place, the shape is exactly the right place. Won't have to be because it's going to be an original. And original stuff I don't have to charge a fortune for, and you know, um, it's not as painstakingly, you know, you're not spending months and months and months on trying to replicate something to a T. You just make your sculpture, give it some cool details, and whatever it is you're making, a zombie, you know. But I definitely want to move on from Michael Myers pretty soon. Yes, I'm definitely going into scarecrows and stuff. I really like scarecrows a lot. They're my favorite thing. But I'm also going to make masks. I have a unique way of doing a mask, making a new mask. There's going to be a really cool thing that I'm going to do in a future mask making tutorial. And I'm going to try and do it in the summertime, but I'm really focused on trying to get these done. I have to get these sculptures done so I can make the molds, and I can sell these masks. I want to sell them. I want to get them. I want to get these masks made and get them going by October. Put them on the market. Put them on eBay. See how test market them. See what people think, and move on from there. See how it goes. And then you know, um, I'm going to test market them and then really try to plug away at them and sell the masks. I'll have 2 masks in production by October. That's the main thing. Getting these 2 in production by October. That's why I've been really fighting hard on sculpting this and working a lot of hours. And most of it's off camera now because I've decided sometimes, like I'm sidetracked. Right now I'm talking and talking. When I'm not on live and I'm sculpting, uh, one, it's long and tedious, and I can't concentrate when I'm yapping with you guys and stuff. Ooh, bad news, pal. Don't put it over styrofoam. Do not use styrofoam heads for masks. The styrofoam will suck out all the moisture out of your latex, and that mask will become a hard brick over time, and you won't be able to ever wear that mask again. Uh, I recommend uh, getting. I would make my own. Like I have styrofoam heads, and then I wrap them in plastic. You take the styrofoam head and you wrap it in plastic, and even a trash bag. Yeah, Asylum. You want to put a black trash bag over top of your styrofoam head and kind of like glue it to it or whatever so it doesn't come undone, and tie it off, and then the plastic won't hurt your latex, but that styrofoam will pull the moisture right out of your. Never. You can ask any mask maker. You can ask anybody that's in the business at all. They'll tell you styrofoam's a big no-no. So just remember that. Yeah, see, most of like that mask I just showed you guys out there, the fire mask. That's a foam. That's a foam head. But I put a trash bag over top, a black trash bag over top of that foam, so it doesn't dry out my latex. There's a barrier there. And also, I always put talcum powder, baby powder, or something inside the mask to make it last forever. Especially if you're wearing it and it sweats, wash it out real good with soap and water, and then especially the inside where it's all sweaty. You don't do the outside, just the inside. Soap and water, light water, clean it, then throw powder in there once you dry the mask. Don't put the powder in there if the mask is still damp. Once the mask is dry, then throw some baby powder in there. Cornstarch. Cornstarch will work too. That's good for latex as well. Put it inside the mask, but make sure it's dried out really well and cleaned really well before you do that. And that mask could last you a long, long, long time. As long as you take care of it right and keep it out of ultraviolet light. No sunlight, no direct sunlight. Make sure even like wind lights coming through your window and it's hitting your mask for like 2 hours of the day. Whew, that'll destroy your mask in no time at all. Make sure your mask is out of direct sunlight. And no black lights anywhere near your masks. Don't use black lights for lighting. Blue light's not the same thing. Ultraviolet light is a death. It kills latex. When I say black light, that doesn't mean it's just the color black. Ultraviolet light it'll destroy a mask. So, how do I know? I used to have an ultraviolet light up here, and I had an old mask before I even started making masks. I had an old mask that I had for years. It was a werewolf mask, and it was really cool. Well, it sat there. I used to have a shelf right up here, and the ultraviolet light was right over top of it. And well, it was like 3 years later. I go to take the mask off the armature, and the mask was solid rock. It was like hard plastic, and I was like, "Whoa, what the?" And it was a mask that's nowhere to be found, and it's a very expensive mask. It was a really cool werewolf mask, and man, it got ruined. Sucks. So, but that taught me that lesson with ultraviolet light. Because I mean, I didn't know that that's what did it at the time. I've talked to people that make masks and stuff, and I went, I said, I had a werewolf mask, and it was, you know, I had a black light over top of it, and you know, it was really cool looking for the display. And he said, "Wait a minute, you had an ultraviolet light over it?" I said, "Yes." He said, "That's what ruined your mask." Instant, and it doesn't take long. Doesn't take long at all. All right, I'm getting off. I gotta go eat. I gotta go eat. My sugar's dropping. I gotta go. I feel weak and I'm tired, and it's time for bed. But you guys, thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and you know, watching me go through this process again. And I'll catch you on the next live. All right, guys, hit the like. Please hit the like button. YouTube loves likes. And if you're not a member, you know, if you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe notification bell. That'll always help you. And sometimes if you're not getting notifications from like people that you watch all the time, unsubscribe and then resubscribe. That will definitely, that'll help you. All right, peace, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Good night.